How's it going, guys? Sandris here, and today I want to talk about wrist pain, and specifically ulnar side wrist pain, right here on the pinky side, right here where it usually happens. It can radiate here as well to the back side of your wrist, or a little bit here on your forearm muscles, extensor muscles specifically. So I get a lot of questions from people. I have this pain, and it's not going away. It limits my training. I can't do certain movements and stuff like that. So what to do and how to fix this pain and relieve some of the tension. And actually I had this pain not too long ago, so I can talk about this. I can talk about my experience, what I did to help and relieve some of the pain and tension on my wrist. And I had this pain, I think it was after my first armwrestling match, and it was really annoying. I couldn't really do any wrist flexion, extension as well, and sometimes it still bothers me a little bit, but I'm just going to show you a few exercises what I did that helped me out with this wrist pain. So how does this pain occur in the first place? I don't have the exact reason for that, or I don't know the exact anatomy, how it works, but I can talk from my experience. Usually the pain in your wrist, especially the ulnar side, occurs when has been continuous stress to the area, overwork in training with all the wrist movements. There is small damage to the tendon or ligament in the wrist. It can be a little sprain, maybe some micro tear or something like that, and it can get really annoying. Another reason is nerve problems. So the ulnar nerve runs through your whole arm to your shoulder, and it can get trapped in various places in the arm, and usually it happens right here between the wrist and your ulnar bone. The ulnar nerve gets trapped and you get these sharp wrist pains. Those are probably the two most common things that can happen. And now let me show you a few exercises and things you can do to relieve some of the pain. So first exercise that helped me a lot, and I found this recently. So what you do is you basically do a back pressure lift over your knuckles. So usually you will do it like this with a high knuckle, like that, but this time we are doing intentionally the low knuckle position. So wrist completely bent forwards, knuckles low, and we just lift like this. And what it does, it gives you a very good stretch right here in the wrist. And somehow, talking from my experience, I don't know the exact processes in the tissue that happens. My theory is that maybe some of the tension is here, not here, necessarily. So some of the tissue is pulling this way, so this causes pain right here, and by stretching the upper part of the wrist, you relieve the pain on the lower part of the wrist as well. So that's my theory how it happens. I'm not a doctor, or physiotherapist or anything, so just talking from my experience. So doing this exercise, at first it can be bothersome, but after a couple of reps and couple of sets, the wrist gets worked up and it really feels great. Just giving the stretch to the wrist and also working your low knuckle position, for low hand top rollers. Also very beneficial. So the next exercise or nerve stretch is probably my favorite of them all. It really has helped me a lot to fix different problems with my arms, my elbows, my wrist and stuff like that. To start like this, with a OK sign, start like this, go up, bring the hands around and you put these 3 fingers under your chin and do this. So start here, go up, put it on your eyes and go down. Really easy exercise and a really easy way to stretch your ulnar nerve, and you can really feel that, hand turning and it's stretching out, and this one has helped me a lot to deal with my wrist pain. And also, since I started doing this, my elbows basically have stopped hurting at all, not even after competition. For next exercise you will need a dumbbell with the weight on one side and with the empty other half of the dumbbell. So you take this part in your hand like this, just like that, and you will do this movement. Up, go down, release your fingers and go up. And you can do this both ways. You can do the ulnar deviation, or you can do the radial deviation, like this. So you can work both parts of your wrist to strengthen, the tissue around the wrist, and also to pump some blood into the area. Also, very important to get extra range of motion is to release the fingers at the bottom and start the movement from your fingers, curl in, and then go up with your wrist. Just like that. Very easy, very effective exercise. Next thing you can do is a massage. What I like to do is use one end of a barbell, rolling like this, and you work your whole arm like this. You can do this after every workout, so you can do all these 5 exercises after your workouts for one set, to not give too much stress on your arms, and just stretch it out, roll it out after every workout to relieve some of the tension from your muscles and from your tendons as well. Especially if you have ulnar side wrist pain, work those extensor muscles as well. For me, this part usually gets very tight. You can see it bulging as well. This part very tight, especially on the left arm. My right arm isn't that bad, but left arm, especially after competition, gets very tight and almost jams in there. So just get a bar, or you can use just a tennis ball or something like that, some rubber ball or anything like that, and really work your forearms, also your upper arm as well, because most of the time a lot of attention is there. So just work around your arm like that, and you will be good. And the last thing you can do is actually stretch the wrist. So what I like to do is make it like this, your typical arm wrestling pose. Put it against the wall, narrower, less stretch, wider, more stretch. So work your range, what feels comfortable, and just stretch it out like this with closed fist at the start. Then you can just open your fist, straighten the fingers and close it. Just working the wrist like this. and also from the other side. So put it against the wall like that. Also stretch, stretch, stretch. Turn it quarter to the side. Also stretch. This can be quite painful in the arm if you have a lot of nerve damage or pinched nerves, especially here around the biceps. It can get really irritated feeling, but just be careful, you know, don't go any further that you can manage. So stretch it out and then put it with your fingers facing up and just do circular motion in your elbow and in your shoulder like this. Just like that. Also working the muscles as well as the nerves, you know, gliding, you know, easy. Just 5 reps, 1 and other side, and it's enough. As you can see, my right arm is turning a little bit better. You might not be able to do this, but just, even if it's a very little movement, you know, just work those movements from time to time, and it really gets better if you work on it. So that's my take on ulnar side wrist pain and wrist pain in general. Hopefully these 5 simple and easy exercises and things you can do to relieve your pain help in your training. You can do these, you know, after every training, just very light stretches, very light massage, you know, with a barbell or with a rubber ball or something like that. And after some time you will definitely feel the benefit. It might not happen right away, but just keep working on it, you know, like everything in arm wrestling, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. You just have to work on it, you know, sacrifice, go through the pain, you know, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Okay guys, that's it for me today. See you soon.